Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Rick Helps Real Estate Show and happy tax day. I don't even know if those two words go well together, happy and tax. But a reminder here that if you do push the like button, it is deductible. So I'm here to help. And I'm not done with my taxes yet. I'm going to be done here in a couple hours, I hope. I hate this time of year. But I digress. So we've got a couple comments here from Jason up there in the Northwest. Looks like neither 6% or 9% incoming like we discussed 9 months ago. Goes to show you how good we are predicting. But this morning, I wanted to highlight that there is a new grant program out here in the state of Arizona, good for the whole state. It's actually a couple of them. One's good for the whole state. The other one's only good for 13 of our smaller counties. And as with most government programs, it's incredibly confusing. So I'll share this with you a little bit here. The governor announced it at the State of the State. And basically, it's called Arizona is Home. It's a new mortgage assistance program for first-time home buyers. So let me just give you a recap of this. It's $13 million. Say it's going to help about 500 families. Remember that number for a moment. It's going to be offering two options: statewide mortgage assistance through Chicanos, Porta La Casa, CPLC, and Trellis, who are U.S. Department of Housing, Urban Development, affiliated housing counseling organizations. That's a mouthful. With statewide home lending capacity. They will provide enhanced down payment assistance and mortgage interest rate relief to low and moderate income first-time home buyers. Then the other one is called Home Plus. It's called the AZIDAs. They get a lot of acronyms in the government. Home Plus Network targeted for home buyers in Arizona's 13 smaller counties. So Maricopa and Pinal, you're not in there. Who's eligible? Well, here's where it gets complicated. The first program, CPLC and Trellis, statewide is up to 120% of area median income scaled for house sizes. So I don't know I know what that means. I just don't know when they say scaled for household size, how that works. The other one, 13 smaller counties, up to 80% of the median income. Get your calculator out. So down payment assistance. So the first one is eligible first-time home buyers up to 80% can receive up to $30,000. Now that program there, that money is available to you as a grant. And it says here, it'll be offered as a deferred payment loan with no monthly principal payments due at sale or refinance. So just giving you the money. It's a deferred payment. Eligible first-time home buyers and refinance. So you can refinance later if you want to, which is unlikely. You're going to have this grant. So let's say you get $30,000. Well, if you refinance, you're probably going to have to pay a portion of that off depending on how soon you refinance. But since it's giving you a low interest rate, you're probably not even going to want to think about that. Home Plus, you'll receive a competitive below market 30-year fixed rate mortgage combined with down payment assistance. Now, the first one here that they say they're giving you down payment assistance and mortgage rate buy down. So if you get $30,000, you might take $15,000 of it and buy down the rate, a pretty good chunk, and then the other $15,000 for closing costs and down payment. So that's not too bad. How's it funded? Well, $13 million. And I'm going to put both these links in the body of this video here when I'm done. And so you can go back and you can take a look at this. But here's the deal. It's $13 million, and they say it's going to help about 500 families. So it's on the news. It's a big deal and everything, but it really isn't. And this is why. 500 families, $13 million. We have normal transactions, annual sales rate in March of 67,573. So 500 of you may get some assistance. And don't get me wrong, I'm only chuckling at this because most government assistance programs and stuff that come out there end up being very expensive if they're really going to make an impact. Those of you that lived in Arizona, do you remember when you could get this incredible tax credit for buying a hybrid vehicle. I know guys that were out buying hybrid vehicles for trucks, and it's unbelievable how much they were getting back from the state. And the goal of the state was to reduce emissions. And I'm looking at this and I'm seeing how much money they're spending. I'm thinking, well, they're going to have to spend a bucket load of money if they really want to have an impact on emissions. Along with that, you get a special license plate, and the license plate says that you have a hybrid vehicle, and now you can drive in the fast lane, the carpool lane. So big program. Well, then the state come out and said, we ran out of money sooner than we thought. And my thought is, and it's the same with this housing thing, you're spending this money so you can help affect the market. Well, 500 people is not going to help the market. It's not going to help people that can't afford to get into a house. 500 of them, maybe. The license plate thing, the big tax credit that they had. Well, if you really wanted to help with emissions, wouldn't you want millions of cars to be able to go out there and be hybrid vehicles? And now you've really made an impact on emissions. But wait, you ran out of money. So did anybody sit down there and say, well, if we spend 500 million, how many vehicles actually will that be? And will that have any impact at all? And the answer is no, it rarely does. Now, looking at, and got a comment here that says, government's always good at complicating things. Easy solution for middle, lower income, first-time buyers, deferred zero property taxes and buy down rate 2% like home builders do. Reduces payment 25%. I agree. They don't ever come out with easy solutions. These down payment assistance programs. It's almost like, too, I see, what's the FHA loan limit? Let me ask you that. See if you can put that up there for me. And I have a comment waiting for you when you do that. Here's our mortgages today, 7.30. It was a tough week. It doesn't look like it's getting any better. Retail sales are way up versus projections. And consumers are consuming. So mortgage rates are not seeing much improvement. Now, is it harming the market? Not really. When I look at my 7-day moving average here, which I like to show every day that we're on here, you can see that new listings kind of came down past 7 days. New contracts kind of came down, but we're still hovering in that 78% range, which is healthy. So it's not killing us. We're not being battered down by rates. Let's see. Yep, may help 0.5%. I don't know. FHA loan limits. I think there's something like 400 and something thousand and 25 cents. It's like, why is it never an even number when the government comes out with a program that has a number attached to it? What's going on with our active listings? Well, still flat. FHA is anywhere from 470 to 977, but it's not just 470. It's like 474.75. That's the funny part. Here we are with our active listings. We had a slight uptick. Now, did we get a slight uptick because we got more new listings? Let's take a peek. Yes, we did get more new listings in the past couple of weeks. So that's why we have roughly about 50 more homes on the market. We had 15,585, 15,788. So that's not a big, huge improvement in our listings. List price per square foot. You can see it's going up. Listing prices, people are feeling optimistic a little bit out there, and they're pricing accordingly. Property, major industrial site could help Queen. Do you have a hard time saying that like I do? Queen Creek. Compete for more manufacturers. This is a rendition of the battery plant. LG Energy Solutions is going out there. And look at the size of this thing and all the solar panels. And so they had new zoning to enable them to make buildings a little taller, a little bit bigger. So more plots of land out there are applying for the same thing, about 240 acres being set up for a sprawling industrial manufacturing campus. And so you're going to see more and more of that out there. And it's going to be growing like crazy in that part of the valley, which is the southeast part of the valley for people that don't know the area well. I had a friend down here from up here from El Paso. We went up to Prescott last week, and he kills me. I've known him since grade school, and he has no sense of direction. He says, "How come everything's so far from here?" I said, well, because we're going to another city to visit somebody. He goes, well, don't you live in Phoenix? I go, no, I picked you up in Phoenix, and now we're going to Chandler. So, retail sales rose sharply in the first quarter and could boost U.S. GDP. Well, guess what that's going to do, folks? Central bank's going to go, we ain't going to be cutting anytime soon. So that's coming to a headline near you soon. Here is the one to watch now. We all know what happened over the weekend with Iran lobbing just about every missile and drone that they had at Israel, and that had an effect on oil. You can see where it spiked up here. Fortunately, it came down. It almost hit $90 a barrel, but there's still a lot of stress in that part of the world, and that's going to have an impact on the price of oil right now. So it's kind of stabilizing a little bit. But I'm watching this closely. I don't know how this is going to shake out because I am planning on taking a short trip at the end of the summer in my RV, and I may scuttle that if I have to pay $6 a gallon for gas. And that's going to hurt a lot of people in the pocketbooks. Here's an interesting thing here. There's a 122-year-old Arizona hotel in Bisbee up for sale. You can buy this. I think it's only $12 million. Historic Copper Queen Hotel in Bisbee has hit the open market. Pretty cool looking place. And it's got an asking price of $12.5 million. And the realtor said they have seen a lot of interest, a lot of inquiries coming from a group of people who own boutique hotels, said Hagel. This part of Bisbee is a historical district. You're not going to get a Marriott or a Hilton. If you haven't been to Bisbee, I encourage you to go there. It's a pretty nice place. That is down in the southeast portion of the state, and it's an old mining town with a lot of history, and it's kind of a fun place to go. Now, I will put the link in the comments down below. All of a sudden, I got out of focus here. What happened? My camera's playing games with me. Anyway, I'll put the link for that grant program down below and check it out and see what you think. On top of that, don't forget to punch that like button so that you can get a tax credit today and a deduction, and have a fabulous Monday and the rest of the week. Take care. I got to hit a button here. Here we go.